no powder, just a little bit of setting spray, that is pretty impressive. What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. This is the first time that I am filming ever since I've been back from vacation. Technically I'm still on vacation right now and this is like my last day on vacation, but I've been on vacation for 10 days. I don't know, it's just weird. Like I feel relaxed and I feel good, but also ready to get back into the groove of things. Super excited to be back. It is Wear Test Wednesday, where every Wednesday I test out a new product, and today we will be testing out the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. So I picked this up just randomly at the drugstore. I was there and I was like, everybody talks about this foundation, let's try it out. And I feel like I have had this in the past, but I used it for a little bit. I don't remember how much I liked it, and I just don't really remember like my opinion or anything on it, and I lost it, and so I never finished it, and blah blah blah. Here we are trying it again, matte and poreless, and then I also want to try out their dewy and smooth and do a wear test on that one. So I have the shade 102 Fair Porcelain, and I'm a little bit concerned that it's gonna be a little bit too light for me, maybe not, just because I did get, you probably can't tell, but I did get a little bit darker on my vacation. So I have it pulled up on the Maybelline website right here. They look like they have a really good shade range. They have pictures of like all the shades that they have. I still could say that they could probably, I mean, it's hard to tell based off of a picture, but they could probably do like 1 or 2 shades even darker than the darkest girl that they have here, but still goes pretty dark. I just really like Maybelline as a brand altogether, especially because like on their website, it's very organized. Everything is very helpful. I don't know, it's just really easy to navigate. It kind of reminds me of the Sephora website. I mean, totally different layout, but that's how easy it is to navigate. And so on their website, it says that it retails for $7.99. Now, I want to say that I bought it for a little bit over that, and I bought it at Target, and prices can vary store to store, but on their website, it does retail for $7.99. And under the What It Is section, it says the Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation Face Makeup. This lightweight foundation mattifies and refines pores, leaving a natural, seamless finish. Ideal for normal to oily skin, our exclusive matte foundation formula features micro powders to control shine and blur pores. Pore minimizing foundation, dermatologist tested, allergy tested, and non-comedogenic. Non-comedogenic just means that it won't clog your pores. So it says apply foundation onto skin and blend with fingertips or an applicator. It doesn't say to apply with a sponge or with a brush, but just to apply it. So I guess you could do either one. I have my beauty blender here, so I'm probably going to be using that today. Let me grab some primer. What primer do I want to use today? Oh, I did already apply the Too Faced Hangover RX primer all over my skin, just because, I don't know, with swimming and being out in the sun and everything like that, I really do feel like my skin was extra dehydrated even after I put my moisturizer on it. So I just put this all over just to kind of revive and hydrate a little bit more. Let's do the Cover FX Blurring Primer. I freaking love this primer, but sometimes I forget that I have it. All right, I'm gonna apply that to the left side of my face. I'm just gonna take that on my fingertip. I'm gonna do something weird, but I'm actually going to, I've never done this, but I'm actually going to apply this primer all over. I just wanna see what it will do. Like, this is one of the best blurring primers I've ever used, like in terms of pore filling and everything like that. So I just want to see what it looks like all over the skin, because normally I just target it in certain areas, like where I have more pores and stuff like that, where I need more pore filling. But with this one, since it's so thin, I was like, I feel like I can just apply it all over my face. So, like, honestly, there are very few primers that I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes such a difference, but this is definitely one of those primers. Like, I am thinking about doing like my all-time favorite primers, like best primers of all time or whatever it may be. I don't know what I'll title the video, but I'm thinking about doing one of those videos. So if you want to see that, let me know. I'm gonna drink some coffee. Alright, so now I'm just gonna tap this foundation. It doesn't have a pump or a spatula or anything like that. It's just a straight bottle. I'm like looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I know that you can't tell like through the camera, but I'm like, girl, you're tan. Like, dang. I feel proud of this tan. It's barely there, but I can see it. My husband can't see it, but I can see it. Okay, I have some on my tray and I think I got too much, but I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and we're just gonna... That's pretty light. With my tan, that is pretty light. Well, let's just see, maybe it will oxidize a little bit. Okay, yeah, it is getting a little bit, like it's changing color a little bit and getting a little bit darker and matching me better, but I would still say that it's just a little bit too light for me. However, the texture of it, even though it's a little bit too light for me, looks really freaking nice, like really, really good. But at least that's on this side and this is the prime side, so let's see on the unprimed side. Okay, so my skin has been like freaking out and it's totally my fault because over my vacation I've been eating bad, I have been not taking off my makeup every night, you know, just having way too much fun. So my skin, for a good reason, is freaking out and I have like all these little breakouts like right in here, and I know that my breakouts in here are usually from my diet, and then breakouts in here and stuff like that, and just like on my cheeks. However, I have this guy right here, not a breakout. Yesterday, so stupid, we have this little thing that hangs by our front door. It holds like our sunglasses and like mail, and we hang our keys on it and stuff like that. And I was moving something by the door and I swing my head over and I hit right on the corner of that. It hurts so bad. Like it looks so small, it just looks like a little pimple, but it hurts so bad. Like it's so tender. Like I'm even scared to put my beauty blender over it. I'm not even gonna try to cover it up completely because one, I have bangs, thank goodness, and two, I don't want to touch it. This foundation probably would have been perfect for me before I went on vacation, but it's definitely a little bit light. Honestly, it looks a little bit lighter on camera than it does in real life. Like in real life, it doesn't look that bad. So I'm gonna build up the coverage a little bit more underneath my eyes. But wow, I mean, I'm super impressed with, even though this is a little bit too light with me, how smooth and perfect it looks. It looks really nice. Sorry, I'm just sitting here looking at it because I'm like just developing my opinions on it. I have worn it before because I did own it like 2 years ago, I think, like I said, and I lost it. And I do remember really liking the texture of it, and that's how I'm feeling right now as well. The coverage is like a medium coverage. I do kind of feel like you could build it up to a medium full. I don't think you're gonna get like a full like Huda Beauty kind of coverage out of this, but it does have good coverage. Like it's covering up pretty much all of my redness. It's not fully concealing like my breakouts and stuff like that, and I tried to build it up a little bit more to fully conceal it. Won't really fully conceal my breakouts, which is fine. I do tend to reach for a more like medium coverage anyways, but it's definitely not a sheer coverage. Definitely not a sheer coverage. Let me apply my concealer. I'm just gonna apply a little bit of the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer. My usual. Looks pretty normal, Let's do a little bit of the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin, or Supernatural. I always call it the Sensual Skin Enhancer. Oh my gosh. It's a Supernatural concealer. Everything is blending perfectly and seamlessly, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of concealer down the center of the nose, Cupid's bow, chin, like usual. I'm not even gonna try to cover that up because I don't want to touch it. It hurts. It hurts. I am, however, gonna conceal this a little bit. Alright, and I'm trying this powder out right now. This is the Tarte Smooth Operator Powder. Still developing my opinions on it. Just tried it for the first time the other day. And I'm just gonna press that onto my under eyes. And I'm gonna press that onto the areas that I concealed, just so that I don't move any product around while applying my bronzer or anything like that. Before I go and apply the rest of my makeup, let me go ahead and zoom you guys in close so that you can see how everything is looking. Alright, so with no other makeup on, here is how everything is looking. So yeah, everything really does look really smooth. Definitely on the more matte side of things. Even though it's very matte, it definitely does not look like dry and textured, and especially for it being a shade that's a little bit too light for me, just a hair, like barely looks too light for me now. It feels like it's really dried down, maybe oxidized a little bit, but still just a hair too light for me. A lot of times when a foundation is too light for you, it tends to enhance and cling to texture and stuff like that, and this I definitely do not feel like it's doing that in the slightest, like at all. It looks really, really nice and smooth, matte, poreless, textureless, like everything that it claims to be. So far, really, really good. Super impressed, and I cannot wait to see how this lasts throughout the day. Right now, it is currently 2:54, so I will see you guys in my next check-in. Alright guys, I am in my car. We are actually on our way to go pick up one of our friends who is coming with us to see Creed Bratton tonight, so I'm super excited. If you don't know who Creed Bratton is, what are you doing with your life? Freaking heck. Go look him up. He's from The Office. That's where we know him from, and so we're going to see him. He's doing like a comedy skit. Anyways, wanted to do a little bit of a check-in.
It's also from the Grassroots.
Grassroots, the band. Foundation is still looking really, really good, except that it's getting pretty textured on my forehead here. Like, I'm really, really starting to see some texture, and just right in here. And then it's starting to wear off a little bit on my nose, and I'm not really sure like why, like it's getting, I don't know if I touched my nose and I don't know it or what's going on, but it still looks really good on my cheeks, like in here on my cheeks, which I start to get textured around here usually. Oh, it is past 6:30 now, so it's been on for 3.5 hours about. So yeah, still got a long way to go with this foundation, but do you see the patchiness on my nose right here? Like, I'm really not sure what's going on there. So yeah, that's where we are with that. Other than that, like, I don't know why it's worn off here, and the texture in here, I don't know why things always get weird on my forehead, but they do. Other than that though, I do really like the smoothness, like all throughout my cheek area here. I feel like it looks pretty dang smooth, and my chin looks really nice and smooth, and I definitely don't feel like this color's too light for me anymore. I feel like it looks pretty good. So that's where we are right now. I'll probably do another check-in right after the show if I'm able to find some good lighting, or maybe I'll just do it after I get home. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's it for now. Alright you guys, so it is the end of the day, and I will just go ahead and tell you that there is like a scary thunderstorm going on outside. Like, it is so loud, and like I get scared of thunderstorms, and this one's really scary. But if you hear any thunder, that is why. So here we are. Definitely can tell that I've gotten more shiny, but as you can see, the coverage has really, really preserved itself. Like, it has broken up a little bit on my nose and started to break up a little bit on my chin. Definitely have some redness peeking through around here, but on my cheeks it still looks really, really nice. From the primed to the unprimed side, honestly not much of a difference. Like, I'm not really noticing any difference, if you want me to be quite honest. Not a big fan actually of how it looks on my forehead. It doesn't look the worst. Just right in here for some reason, and this is the only area that it's doing it, but just right in here, it's gotten pretty textured, and I don't know why, because like my chin doesn't look that bad, my nose doesn't look bad. It had started to separate a little bit on my nose, but I feel like I must have touched my nose or done something or rubbed it or something like that to make it kind of rub off the way that it did, because this just, like, I've never seen a foundation do that before, but it's not anything that's like super noticeable. Like, I don't even know if you can even see it. Like, I'm looking at my monitor, I don't even know if you can see it through the camera, but I notice it in real life. Now, there are certain foundations where my concealer won't last as well, or it'll crease more, or it'll wear off more, and on top of this foundation, I feel that both of my concealers have stayed really, really well. They haven't gotten really patchy or like worn off unusually or anything like that, so I am super pleased with that. I would say all in all, for $8, this is quite a steal. Quite a steal. I would say it's well worth it. Also keep in mind that I did not put any powder on my face. The only powder that I put was underneath my eyes to set my concealer, and other than that, I mean, I definitely did get a little bit of glow throughout the day, but I mean, for having no powder on my face whatsoever, and this is all the glow and how well it has stayed with absolutely no powder, just a little bit of setting spray, that is pretty impressive. I mean, especially for an $8 foundation. What the heck. So yeah, I think that this foundation, Maybelline Matte and Poreless, I think it's really, really good. And I think especially if you have oily skin, like pair it with a mattifying primer, a good setting spray, and some powder on top, and I think that you'll be good to go. I mean, obviously I don't have oily skin, so I can't say that completely, but from how it's looking right here, I would say if you have oily skin, it's a pretty safe bet. And one of the things that I really, really like about this foundation is that it is very matte. Like, it's not even like a satin matte or anything like that. Like, it's pretty much a straight matte finish, but it still looks very, very smooth, which that's not something that you see a lot in foundations. Usually it's like dewy and smooth, or it's like matte and a little bit textured, but it lasts really well. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard to find a foundation that is that perfect, like, oh, it's keeping me matte, it's controlling my shine, but it doesn't make me look super dry and heavy and cakey or anything like that. So I would say this is a huge, huge win. $8, you can pretty much find it anywhere. I say go for it. Don't forget to hit some of my other videos here, check them out and see what you've missed on my channel so far. Make sure you haven't missed anything important. Thank you all so much again for watching, and I will see you all in Friday's video. Bye!